working with Sangini since 2017. Firstly on the cultural spring art projects, and that was mainly through working directly with Padma and discussing with her what type of work we could do. So she came in and the women responded to her immediately. She comes in with a box full of wonderful things, and Mickey as well, working alongside her, and other people have come in, other members of Sangini over the years. So that's another brilliant thing, I think, about Sangini. It also gives that empowerment to its own members to become facilitators and teachers themselves, the confidence to do that. When you work with the Psalm Seekers, and the current legislation going through Parliament will be the next huge challenge to the support work that we provide. But the COVID challenge, we had to work very quickly to decide how we were going to support people, because these are people who are not eligible for top-ups of £20 from the government. They're people who are going to face problems when they don't have any more money and the food prices are going up. So there is that. But there's also looking after people's well-being. So the first thing that I did in general well-being was talk to Padma and Mickey, and we continued the Felting project online. So we did the whole thing of putting together bags, which I drove round with another volunteer, dropping them off at people's doors. So I've spent more than a year doorstep visiting people, and that was a fantastic thing, because those women either could come on the Zoom to talk about what they were doing, or they could just do it from YouTube videos. And we had to also give them data top-ups to be able to do that, because they don't have Wi-Fi, they're not allowed Wi-Fi in their houses because they don't have contracts. So everything has to be done on a phone, everything. And that's a challenge. That was an enormous challenge in itself, yeah. So yes, we still managed to do that project, and June 2020 we did Refugee Week online, and we had a display online of all the things they made, and they shared those photographs. And we picked up on another project that I knew about called the Corona Quilt from Art Refuge. That quilt was virtual, so you sent a square image, and then you had a little attachment that you could try and click on about what it was that you made. Well, I couldn't quite manage the software for all of that, but we did do the Corona Quilt, and then that involved even the Gentoo Housing Association had a worker who helped put that whole thing together, and then it went online. And there were lots of those sort of Sangini drawings and artwork that went into that. There's a wonderful bit in the film that was done for Cultural Spring, and the women were looking at some of the images that they'd done together with Sangini, and these were displayed. There were large images, and they'd also included their self-portrait. And one of the women says, I looked at this picture and thought, did I do that? You know, that I love the eyes and the hair and the hijab and was it really me that did that? So I think that voice, just for me, carried the whole project. It was a challenge for the women, but they really sort of stepped up to that challenge and got an enormous amount out of it. So yes, the voice of those women was the success of that project, and is part of a different type of activism. It's like that same woman also then started wearing a t-shirt which was said, "Be strong." I don't even know if it was donated to her, but it was just such a fantastic progression. So that's just an example.